Hello everyone and welcome to the Action Figure-atorium. My name is Mark Major. I'm a real big toy collector here, hunkered down in a studio in Southeast Portland. I'm also an old school sales and marketing guy, and one of the things that I love doing on this channel is I love investigating the Kickstarters of new independent toy companies coming out, and I love to see their designs as well as their marketing campaign. Today is going to be one of those. We're going to be looking at another set of 3.75 O-rings coming out. This is from Whiskeyjack Toys. This is actually something I think looks kind of cool, and I might dip my toe into this, but we're going to check it out. We're going to put it through the ringer, all that kind of stuff. So everybody, come together, strap on your leather, and hold on tight. All right, I will switch over to desktop cam. Here we go. So originally I covered this company and this campaign in a video I did about 9 months ago called Fad or Fab O-Ring Action Figure Renaissance, in which I went through various different small indie companies, as well as the big dogs, the Super 7s, the Hasbros, who were all making these 3.75 O-rings, kind of in the style of the G.I. Joes of the 80s, as well as, I don't know if anybody remembers these, but Buck Rogers also had O-ring action figures. I had those as a kid. So I covered all of that, including this company. In this video, I'll post a link if you want to go back and watch it. I would very much appreciate it. But essentially, this campaign we're going to look at today needs first to be explained by the previous campaign, because one of the things I like to do is I like to vet the company to see, to see if they're going to actually be able to deliver, deliver on their product and their fulfillment. So this is the previous campaign Whiskeyjack Toys did, Legends of the Hidden Force. And you can see it's all of these sort of martial arts, feudal Japan kind of characters. You get that sort of man bun, you get ninjas, you get, you know, that sort of the weird ninja toes. You get swords, you get breastplates, all that kind of stuff. You get cool hairdos. Here's some of the figures, right? You can see the designs. Pretty decent marketing on this. If you look at the rewards, we can see that figures were 24 bucks each, and you could add as many as you wanted. Now I have to say that these figures are currently on pre-order at Big Bad Toy Store, which is a good sign. It means that they're probably going to happen. In fact, if you go down to the bottom 4-pack here, those are sold out. And if we look at the updates on this Kickstarter, we can see that he has some, he has painted samples, and these will be manufactured soon and coming from the factory. Okay, so let's look at the new campaign that launched about 3-4 days ago. It's called Chaos, and that's an acronym. Don't know what it stands for. I'm not going to look it up. Don't care. But it's basically these 4 guys here. You get kind of a mad scientist, you get kind of a Scareglow, you get whatever this guy is. He's some sort of like world's worst Punisher. And then you get this dude. He's kind of, if you put a top hat on him, he'd be like a Baron Saturday, a Baron Zamuda type guy. And these figures are coming in at $26 each, right? If we go to the rewards, we can see they're 26 bucks each. There's even a couple here that he didn't have pictured on his main splash image there, the Hellions, right? Which he also has available in a 3-pack because it comes with 2 different heads. So you buy 3 bodies, you get the heads, you make 3 different figures. And the Zombie, which also comes in a 3-pack and has 2 different heads as well. I think that's kind of cool. And it looks like he launched this Whiskeyjack Toys, don't know his real name, don't know who he is. Might run into him, meet him one day. We'll find out. But it looks like he launched this upon getting very, very, very far with the previous campaign to where he feels good enough about starting this new campaign in motion now. Now, personally, I would like to see people do a campaign, do it really well, crush it, knock it out of the park, right? Get the funds, get it fulfilled, send it out, and then have enough money to where you don't need to campaign and crowdfund again. You are, in fact, a business. You're up and running at that point. That's what I'd love to see, but some of these cats have to keep going to the well. And one of the things I noticed, is that the smaller the operation, the easier it is for 1 or 2 people to manage about, maybe 2 to 6 different figures. And if you go beyond that, you really need a team. And this to me doesn't look like this guy's a team so much as looks like the work of an individual guy who works really hard. So let's look at our what is known as our best practices graphic. Let me pop this up real quick. So best practices of crowdfunding as determined by me from evaluating 4 successful Kickstarters. There's a video on that, which I looked at a variety, including Savage Crucible, Odious 112, Biblical Adventures, things like that. And here's what we came up with. You need 3-tier pricing. You need something standard, you need something deluxe, you need something luxury. Very easy to understand. Wider selection means higher sales, also means bigger staff, more SKUs, more production, longer turnaround time. Definitely worth it to get more sales. More sales can only come from having a wider selection, but you got to juggle more plates. We have seen a few cats in the past who had such a wide selection they could not juggle the plates, specifically Marauder gun runners who had to do refunds simply because, not because it wasn't happening, but because it was so a complicated mess and it was taking so long that they decided that they would just start doing some refunds for people who might be bitching and want their money back. But when they finally will deliver, hopefully it'll all turn around and it'll come out in the wash. Okay, and the last thing is you really need to hone in your best marketing stuff on the Kickstarter page. If you think people are going to go to a website or Facebook or something, they're probably not. They might, but they probably won't. So if you do interviews, if you are appearing on shows and stuff like that, put it on the Kickstarter, put it on the updates, add it to the campaign, all that kind of stuff. All right, let's make this go away. Nobody really wanted to see that. And let's take a look and see what he's got. So everything here is a standard figure for 26 bucks. There is no deluxe figures. It is an O-ring campaign. It was successful in the past. People might start to pick up these guys, but I really think that he should have had some type of more expensive deluxe figures offered, and the way to do it with these guys would be to offer, have really plain figures, but then have some figures that come with soft goods, extra accessories, extra heads, things like that. Makes, and if that means, like on these guys, if they come with a bunch of, I should check out and see what they come with. If they come up with a bunch of stuff, if they already have a bunch of accessories for 26 bucks, etc., then strip them out of that just to make something cheaper, and just to make something deluxe, put the accessories and the heads with the deluxe figures. I really think that if you do the 2 tiers, you wind up really well. As far as a luxury item, I'm not sure what this guy could cobble together. I mean, he does have these multi-packages. Also, there's quite a few characters he has planned, because he made quite a few characters for the Hidden Force, but he has quite a few characters planned if they unlock. Now, the Hidden Force, Legends of, let's see, does it tell me what the campaign needed to make? Yeah, his goal was 35,000, which is really low for an action figure mold, and he got 41,000. So if he thinks that he's going to hit over 100,000 with this, and there are cool figures that he has planned. There's a bunch of these weird, creepy sort of Jason Friday the 13th or Halloween guys. There's, I was scrolling down, yeah, then he's got these really cool sort of Mad Max inspired guys. This is like a Wes from the Road Warrior. I don't know who that guy would be, but this would be sort of Humongous from the Road Warrior movie. This might be a guy from that Tonka toy line, Steel Monsters, which was also inspired by the Mad Max movies. Then he's got some chicks later on that you'll be able to get to, that kind of thing. But, and then he's got some other huge things. So he's planning ahead, but is he going to actually hit that with these main 4 guys and then these 2 sort of builders, the Helion's builder and the, which 3 people have backed? No one's backed the zombie, but you could probably add them. Is he going to actually make it with this? I don't know. I would absolutely love to see this guy, and he needs 50,000 this time. I would love to see this guy hit the 50,000 mark. I personally kind of like this weird mad scientist guy on the left. I don't really have any figures quite like that I know of. Don't really care much about the other guys, but I think the mad scientist guy I could see myself throwing down for. I really think that this campaign has a chance to go big, but it's probably not, people. It's probably not. Why? It doesn't have like a big, expensive, huge item for people to buy, like maybe some kind of a weird vehicle might be the luxury item, you know, mark it up for $100, and it just has to be, you know, 2 sets of wheels, a bottom chassis, and then like just a car thing that can go. You could do like a vehicle like that. Gets kind of G.I. Joe-ish once you start getting into vehicles, or, you know, extra accessory packs. You know, maybe there's just a pack of insane amount of weapons and helmets and cloth goods and stuff like that. Some different things you could do to like beef this up to try and get the numbers higher. You can always add more things for sale in terms of tchotchkes, like enamel pins and buttons and a comic book and a digital version of the comic book and a poster and hats and t-shirts and you know, wristbands might be kind of cool for something like this. Who knows? Maybe he has like some plastic throwing stars with the logo on it. I don't know. Different things you could throw in to get the numbers up there, because if you're going to try and get to 100,000 to start unlocking some cool stuff, and the stuff did look cool, and I would love to see it unlocked, no doubt about it. I have doubts that he's going to make it on $26 figures with just essentially 6 of them available for offer. I have doubts. I think he needs more SKUs. I think he needs more tiers. I think he needs some cheaper stuff. I think he needs a lot more expensive stuff, and I think he needs a lot more padding of junk and garbage. All the junk and garbage like stickers and stuff like that, that's the kind of stuff that you can easily get made and fulfill right away and keep people from bitching at you about where is my stuff. Operation Recall comes to mind. So, just a kind of a side note there. Again, that should have its own video, and maybe one day it will. All right, so should we conclude this with a hymn? Sure, why not? I think that this campaign is going to fund because he was successful last time. I think that he's probably maybe not going to get to unlocks per se, which is too bad. But I do think that this is particularly cool that more people are doing O-ring stuff, and they're not just doing G.I. Joe rehash or their version of G.I. Joe or things that they wanted in G.I. Joe that they never got. I like that he's doing different stuff. First of all, the whole Oriental Adventures, Asiatic, feudal Japan figures from Legends of the Hidden Force. Great idea. Something off the beaten path. This, I don't know who the background is on these figures, but the figures do look cool. They're cool looking figs, okay? And I think if we start getting into people doing some O-ring figures in like some fantasy genres or, you know, just something, space adventure, something different than just G.I. Joe, I think there could be an even bigger widening of audience for not only 3.75, but specifically for O-ring. And you know what? I think I'm probably going to throw down, give this guy a little bit of help. I think I'm going to probably throw down for one of these figures just to see if it makes it. Who knows? If it does, it does. Okay, so with that, thanks to everybody who made it this far into the video. We always appreciate that. We also appreciate things like likes and subscriptions, all that kind of stuff. But, you know, in the meantime, people, just do what you can to stay charged.